Happy Monday, and welcome back to another Colorful Keto with Dory. We have an extra special guest today, and we're getting together with Christine Moore, aka Rebooting Your Nutrition, and we're going to talk about the Great Canadian Keto Conference today. I'm so excited. We get to hang out in like 5 sleeps. I think it's 5 sleeps now, so I'm super excited. Let's get her going live. Yay! It's a Monday. and I miscalculated times, so we're early. Hello.
Hey.
My lovely darling. Happy Monday.
How are you?
Do you know what? Let's start with, I got a little bit of a shock today. I think everybody knows who you are, so we'll skip the introduce yourself. Now, old news for you, because you've been dealing with this for a while. I woke up this morning to a post saying that Jimmy's channel was canceled, and I was like, what? Like, his whole YouTube channel, it's deleted, It's gone, you can't find it, it no longer exists.
Yep.
And
right before we went on a family vacation, I think it was the night before, Jimmy got several emails from people saying, where are your videos? We can't find them. And so Jimmy's like, well, maybe just it's a glitch. So he searched for his channel, some of his Jimmy Rants videos. And sure enough, they weren't there. He was able to find them, but it showed that his account at that point had been suspended and it was under review. Because supposedly he had content on his videos that was either spam, vulgar, or porn, whatever.
Well, pornography, sure. Like,
yeah, it was reported as that. So if an actual human being at YouTube would look at his videos, they would obviously see that there's no such thing in his account like that. And so we think that this was a group effort on some people's parts. Because Jimmy had gotten inundated with comments from vegans and other people, just Jimmy haters all around, that they were commenting on his YouTube videos. I mean, it just inundated a couple of weeks that led up to this. So we're thinking that it was a group of people that reported his account as being those things that I said before, and the idiots at YouTube
took it down.
Just deleted his account.
Now, I will tell you, I had kind of a false sense of security in that his channel makes them money. Like, let's be honest for 2 seconds. The ads, the videos, there's 15 years of videos, there's lots of views, millions of views. So I think in my own mind, I thought, well, as long as you're making a platform money, which I don't, by the way, and as long as you're making the money, they're not going to mess too much with what you're doing.
Yeah, well,
right.
It wasn't a lot of money. I mean, it was bringing in a little bit, but I mean, if you're talking about some other people, you know, that have millions and millions and millions of views, I mean, the amount of money that Jimmy was earning from it wasn't a lot. So, I mean, maybe that was some of it. Maybe because we were still in the process of building his channel up. Yeah. So, we're not going to let that discourage us. We're going to get our own platform and store our videos on our own platform. That way that they won't go anywhere. You know, we won't have to worry about idiots hacking into his account and getting, you know, or reporting his account when it's on our own platform. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
What else do you do when you're on someone's platform? You are at their mercy. They can do whatever you want, and legally it's their content. As soon as you put it out there, it belongs to them and not to you, and that's every platform. Facebook, Instagram.
And we've been hearing, you know, people say, well, you know, what about free speech? Well, free speech, it doesn't apply to a private company like that. They can choose whatever they want to do with the content, and we're subject to what they do with that content. You're absolutely right. So that's why we want to get our own platform. That way we are not concerned with somebody else, whether they are, don't agree with our messages. And unfortunately, today we live in a society where people get their panties in a wad, when they don't agree with you or when you don't agree with them, and we've forgotten how to act like adults.
Forgotten how to agree to disagree. Everybody has to be right, and not just a little bit right, but 100% right, which means if I'm right, you're 100% wrong. Therefore, you shouldn't be able to say what you want because it's wrong, and that's also not free speech. And unfortunately, free speech applies to the things we don't like. Lots of people say stuff I don't like. Lots of people, you say stuff all over the place that I don't like. I have this whole magical finger thing. I don't know if everybody has one or not. I feel like mine's special, but it's called a scroller. And I could just like...
You don't like it? Keep going.
I could just keep going. And I even myself, I find every now and then you feel that urge to be like, oh, I'm going to say something about that. And then I start typing something and I think, why am I wasting my energy? If I don't agree with them, I'm not going to change their mind. It's a waste of my energy. They can think whatever they want to think. They can do whatever they want to do. Oh, guess what? It's magic. I can just keep scrolling. And I will say, I don't understand why, but Jimmy receives more personal hate than I've ever seen. And on a personal note, as his wife, that has got to be incredibly unbearable for you. Like, unbearable to see people say horrible things about someone that you love. And you're like, but I wouldn't say that about your husband or your brother or your cousin or, your neighbor down the street that you've known. Why does everybody feel the need to attack like that? I don't know.
I don't know. They live miserable lives. They're unhappy with themselves. So attacking other people makes them feel better. They, can hide behind a computer screen. And I think this is how social media has changed society. It's a good way to connect with people, but it's also a good way to hide behind a computer screen and say something to somebody that you probably wouldn't say to their face. But we're seeing more and more of this happening where the effect of the social media effect, people in everyday life are now starting to get uglier and uglier. And it is hard. I mean, Mama Bear comes out when I see these comments, but I have gotten to the point where, I need to get to the point where I don't have a knee-jerk reaction and respond, because that just causes stress in my life, and that's what we're trying to deal with going away for 6 months, trying to reduce the stress, heal some things that have happened because of all this ugliness. So it's a process trying to not get angry over this stuff, because it's more about them than it is us.
And I think that's where I'd love to go with that, because I think in some varying degree, we all receive that. We all receive criticism that borders on hate. We receive comments that are strictly hate. I had somebody comment on one of my earliest videos and say, this is the worst video I've ever seen. It's not even edited. Literally delete your channel. And I was offended. And when I commented back, he said, wow, you're awfully snippy and rude. And I was like,
what were you?
I'm snippy and rude. So there is kind of a barrier. And I won't lie. When I first started this, I got my first little bit of hate right away. Immediately, like 3 days in, I was so upset, I cried for 3 days, and my fiance was like, maybe this isn't for you, like, honey, maybe you shouldn't do this. If you're gonna get upset, over, everything that people say about you, then maybe you shouldn't do this. And I was like, no, I can do it. No, I'm okay, I'm fine. And he was like, you're not fine though. Like, you're really not fine. And I process it a little bit better now, but it's literally that same, like, punch in the face every time. Like, and I think to myself, my mama taught me, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Didn't your mama teach you?
Yes, my mama taught me the same thing.
Yeah.
And just know that when you get those ugly comments, you're starting to make a difference. You're starting to be heard. And that's a good thing. We often wear these attacks as badges of honor. Like, okay, look, we must be having some effect on people.
Somebody cares enough to harass you, and that's the bottom line. When they're like, so silver lining, if you didn't matter, nobody would care, nobody would say bad things about you, nobody would take time, right? So
that's absolutely right.
I would like to touch on, is there anything that we can do? Like, are they giving you any hope it can be retrieved? Is there any way that we can help, some way, contact someone, message and say, we want Jimmy Rants back? Is there anything we can do as a community to help?
Yeah, I sent you a couple of names, and I can't remember them right offhand, but there are a couple of names at YouTube that we can contact. I don't know that it will do any good, but maybe, just maybe, if enough people write to these people and harass them, just
nicely,
maybe
nicely
reinstate his account just to shut us up. At this point, it looks like his whole channel is deleted, so I don't know if those videos can be retrieved or not.
It doesn't hurt to try, though. It doesn't hurt to try. So at the end of this, I will add, I have found a phone number that you can call. Now, when I tried to call them today, they said they're experiencing higher than normal call volumes. Shocking. And they estimate an hour's wait on hold, which I didn't have, but I do later this afternoon, and I will call them back. So I will add the phone number. They also have an address. We can snail mail them, old-fashioned style. I mean, really, if 10,000 mail letters arrive in the mail, they might take notice. And if there's a couple people we can contact, I will add those and their Instagram links. So nicely, kindly suggest to them that we would love Jimmy Rants back. Throwing around hate and nasty comments helps nobody. But just message them and say, hey, I really find value in Jimmy Rants' channel and I miss it. And if there's any way you can bring it back, please do that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yay.
That'd be awesome. I don't know. See, I don't even know if an actual human being took the time to look at his account. We don't know. We were never really given a solid reason as to why his channel was deleted.
And they don't. I don't think that they ever do. Facebook is kind of the same. I have issues with Facebook. I call it love-hate. I'm always in one sort of Facebook jail or another. And it took me 6 months to figure out how to contact support. 6 months of messaging back and forth with support. And the answer I got was, oh, well, that's odd. It shouldn't be like that. Hopefully it doesn't persist.
Wow.
And I was like, well, it's been a year, so I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say it's probably persistent. What do you do?
And Instagram, Jimmy's Instagram account back in November was hacked and deleted. We contacted Instagram like 6 or 7 times. Never got a response from them. And I think they're owned by the same people. Google owns YouTube and Instagram.
All of them now. All of them now. And they're buying out everything. And this is what scares me about where social media censorship is going. Mm-hmm. Because we think these things are always small things that you don't notice, and then all of a sudden, bang. Like, and it's hard not to be a conspiracy theorist, because it seems so coincidental. Like, ironically coincidental.